Hi, I'm Nick from the Action Popcast, and today I'm going to be reviewing the FIFINE K688 dynamic microphone. It offers both XLR connectivity and USB connectivity. I'm currently using the USB connectivity, but later on I will switch over to XLR so we can see how that sounds. FIFINE did pay me for this microphone, or rather they reimbursed me, but don't worry, I'm not going to throw away my principles over a £70 microphone. I'm going to keep it honest and fair. There's plenty of good about this mic, but there's a few things where I feel they could improve. So I'll go into that a bit later on. I've had this mic for a couple of months now, and I've used it in both modes on multiple streams and done a couple of recordings. So I feel I'm ready to give this a fair review. But first of all, shall we take a look at what's in the box? So in the box, you're going to get the microphone itself, a shock mount which is connected to the mic. I do believe you can remove it. I haven't tried that, but you could if you wanted to, but it's fairly fixed on there, but it's held on with a couple of screws. You get a USB-C to USB-A cable, and you get a thread adapter so you can fit it to different types of microphone stands. It doesn't come with an XLR cable, but you can pick those up reasonably cheap. The design of the microphone won an IF Design Award for its look. And I think if you look at this microphone, you can see that it is heavily inspired by the Shure SM7B. It's a good looking microphone, but as I say, it has got that Shure look about it. So let's discuss the modes of this microphone. And first of all, we're going to discuss USB, as I'm already in that, because that's how I started the video. This microphone offers latency-free monitoring, so you can hear yourself in real time. It's got a capacitive mute button, so if you look, I'm going to talk off, and as you should cutting in and out. Do go careful with that. Although it has a green light to indicate you're not muted and a red light to indicate you are muted, if you're not paying attention and you fiddle with the microphone, you could quite easily mute yourself. You should be able to hear that in your earphones, but if you're not very loud, there's a possibility that you could mute yourself and lose the audio when you're recording. So please do be aware of that. On the back of the microphone, there are a couple of control knobs. You've got one for the gain and you've got one for the headphone volume. They are built into the base. Also, possibly worth noting, to me it seems as though the gain knob and the volume knob are reversed. I'm not sure why they've done that. It may just be because of the way they've had to construct the mic, but be aware because it did throw me off for a few seconds when I first got the microphone. Now let's get into doing a plosive test on the USB mode of this microphone. I'm speaking directly into the microphone. I'm about 4 to 5 inches from the front of it, and I have got the provided windscreen on. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Now let's try this and do it with the windscreen removed. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Definitely better with the windscreen on. Now I'm going to do the same test with me speaking with the mic at a 45-degree angle to my mouth, which is typically how I have any microphone I use set up. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Again with the windscreen removed. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Definitely better in this position. Something else I wanted to make you aware of, you can use this microphone in USB and XLR mode at the same time, so you can record both simultaneously, or you can use it for a dual PC setup. Not something I think I'm going to use, but I do need to let you know because it is a feature and it is there. But let's get into discussing this mic in the XLR mode. And here we are in XLR mode, running directly into my Vocaster 1 audio interface. There's no processing on this. I haven't adjusted anything. This is just flat, clear as the mic would sound out of the box, and this is how it sounds. So let's get into some plosive tests. So as with the previous test, I'm speaking between 4 and 5 inches from the microphone with the windscreen on, directly into it. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. I'm going to do the same as I did last time and remove the windscreen. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Now let's do it with the mic at a 45-degree angle to my mouth, as I would normally use it. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. And again with the windscreen off. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Now here we are, still in the XLR mode, running into the Vocaster 1. Previously, as I said, there was no processing on this, and what I'm going to do now is use a couple of the presets on the Vocaster 1 so you can hear how this sounds with a little bit of EQ, compression and a high pass filter. And here we are, still in the XLR mode, running into the Vocaster 1, and I just want to turn on some of the Vocaster's built-in enhancements so you can hear how it sounds with a little bit of EQ, compression and a high-pass filter. I'm going to use the clean mode on the Vocaster 1 because I think that's the fairest way for you to hear it, and here we go. So hi, I'm Nick from the Action Popcast, and this is the FIFINE K688 with some processing. How does that sound to you? Do you like it? I think it makes the mic sound a lot better and makes it pop. As I've already said, when I was in USB mode, there was no processing or anything on. I just wanted to demo this so you can see that if you're using this mic, adding a little bit of EQ and effects, you can get a really nice sound out of it. Something else I also want to add on this microphone is if you are using it in XLR mode, you won't be able to monitor directly from the microphone and the capacitive mute button will not work. So be aware of that. Now I have pulled up a couple of diagrams here from FIFINE's website to show the frequency response of this microphone and the polar pattern. This microphone is 16-bit, 44.1 to 48 kilohertz, perfectly fine for most users. I think I would have liked to have seen that it could have gone up to 24-bit, but you know, it's going to be fine for most people, and I really don't think it's going to be a deal breaker for most of the people who would be interested in this microphone, but I just want to let you know. This microphone does have a cardioid polar pattern, so it picks up sound mostly from the front of the microphone, and this helps to reject background noise. The frequency response, it's geared towards voice, but in a pinch you could use this microphone for other applications, but it really is, from what I can hear and from what I can see, this is geared for spoken word and podcasts. Now, what are my final thoughts on this microphone? I do believe it excels in XLR mode, but of course that does mean you would need an audio interface, and for many people that's going to be a deal breaker. They want simple plug and play USB microphone. Of course, in XLR mode through my Vocaster, it was easy to add some processing to it, really made the mic sparkle. I do think the USB mode is a little bit underpowered. I just couldn't drive it as much as I would have liked to have done. It just felt as though it was lacking a bit in the gain. But it's perfectly serviceable and it's going to suit many people. And look, even if you have got an XLR set up and you've got an audio interface, something like this could be good if you want to travel around or you're on the move. Simple, plug and play, get going. You can monitor from it directly, latency free. So I do see the perks of this. I do think this is a nice sounding microphone, but here's something I didn't really go into earlier in the video. Now, when you heard me doing the plosive test, you would have heard me sliding the windscreen off. And this microphone is extremely resonant. It's, sorry to do that to your ears. I think that's something that FIFINE could have worked on. I think if they're going to do any more revisions to this microphone, they need to work on that. This is a metal body microphone. It feels well made. It's a little bit light, but that resonance is basically, don't be handling this microphone. It's not designed to be handled, but go careful, because if you knock your mic stand or you catch the cables, that is going into your recording. So do be aware of that. Also, I found that was slightly worse in the XLR mode. So again, be careful. Now, something I'm aware FIFINE have done since this microphone was first launched, I'm going to slide the windscreen off. They have moved the capsule back, and that is going to help with plosives. I do think this mic can be a little bit poppy. That's why I like to speak at it at an angle to my mouth. But that does help eliminate a lot of the plosives. Now, something I think I'd like to see from FIFINE in the future, something that Maono does, is I'd like to see them add an accompanying app for people using this in XLR, so they can add some processing, so that they can add a noise gate, all those things that people are going to be looking for. I think if they could add an app like that to use with this microphone or others going forward in the future, I think that would really help people who just want to use these mics as simple plug and play, because it would help them enhance their sound. It would take away that learning curve. So FIFINE, if you are watching this, that's something I would love to see develop in the future. So my conclusion on this microphone, who's it for? I think this microphone is great for beginners, people who don't want a massive setup, who don't want to buy multiple bits of equipment. And I think it's good for people who possibly want to travel and are on the go with a microphone. They've got their laptop, they don't want to carry an audio interface, they just want to plug this in and get going for live streaming or anything they want to do, such as podcasts. So I think that's who this microphone's aimed at. Don't get me wrong, it's a solid microphone, but the resonance I spoke about earlier, that really does need working on. I know I've already mentioned that, but that's something that kind of bugged me. So I would say overall, this is a solid budget-friendly microphone. There are things FIFINE could improve on in the future. It'd be nice if they come back to this mic again. I know they've already done a few revisions, but if they could work on the resonance of this mic, consider an application for users in USB mode, all those things would be absolutely great. So overall, I do think this is a solid budget-friendly option for streamers, podcasters and content creators. I have gone over a few of the limitations of it. It would be great if FIFINE could revisit those in the future, maybe consider an app to go with this microphone. But for the price, I do think it's a good buy, but I would like to see those things worked on. But when you're out there looking for this microphone, do shop around a bit and do keep looking, because this mic will quite often plummet in price and you can get yourself a real bargain. So I've been Nick from the Action Popcast. Thanks for watching me doing this review. I appreciate you watching and I hope to see you on another one in the future. My typical content isn't normally tech reviews, so if you want to check out my other content on the channel, podcasts, live streams, give that a look in the playlist section. Thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.